Animals are not dying in shelters like the Lost Dogs Home because there is nowhere for them to go. They are dying because of these outdated and frankly barbaric behavioural tests. It's beyond concerning that these assessments are unregulated, unverified and impossible to challenge. In fact, it is not even a requirement to have an expert behaviouralist make these decisions. I dedicate my speech today to Murphy, who was just a baby when he was cruelly killed. The Lost Dogs Home, an organisation that claims to care about and to shelter animals, killed Murphy. Murphy was placed into the loving hands of his foster carers, Elizabeth and Sean, who are in the gallery with us today. On September 22, Elizabeth and Sean were asked to return Murphy to the Lost Dogs Home for a so-called behavioural review before his scheduled desexing on September 25. On that day that he was meant to be desexed, Elizabeth and Sean received a call that their boy was instead going to be put down. He, according to the Lost Dogs Home, had failed one of their outdated behavioural tests. They killed him despite Elizabeth and Sean pleading for his life. They killed him despite their attempts to adopt him, and they killed him despite rehoming organisations wanting to take him in. Murphy died despite a long list of people begging for him to survive. The Lost Dogs Home's response to this scandal has been nothing short of disgraceful. The Lost Dogs Home has a long and troubled history when it comes to transparency and when it comes to accountability. In 2015, the Victorian Government launched a formal investigation into the Lost Dogs Home. The findings revealed that the shelter could not adequately account for why so many cats and dogs were euthanised under its care. Today, I'm calling on the government to appoint an independent oversight mechanism, such as a person within the Department of Animal Welfare Victoria, to approve all behavioural-related euthanasia decisions that are carried out at open intake shelters, just like the Lost Dogs Home. By having to justify to an external and independent officer why an animal should be killed for their behaviour, we will force transparency. Without timely and transparent data, more lives, just like Murphy's, will be at stake. There are countless specialised pet rehoming organisations across Victoria that are willing and able to take on animals put in the too hard basket by organisations like the Lost Dogs Home and other pounds and shelters. And by making this change, it's not an obligation on these groups to take them in, but it does make it a possibility. It might be too late for Murphy or the countless other dogs and cats across Victoria that shelters have deemed easier to kill than to be given a chance at life. But it's not too late for every other dog and cat that will, through no choice of their own, end up in these places in the future. Shame on the Lost Dogs Home for killing Murphy. Murphy was not a number. He was not a mistake. He was a life, and his life mattered.